Hello, good morning, friends. I'm recording this on the 31st of July. I'm back in the UK. I'm making a video about a trade we took last Friday. So this guy about 30R, 130 pips. So I was traveling last week, so my plan was just to kind of keep half an eye on the markets, but no real intention of taking any trades. That said, it's sometimes irresistible, so I ended up with a bit of time on Thursday and Friday to have a look. The main one I'm going to be talking about is this piece of price action right here. So how are we able to take trades like this? It kind of comes down to patience and having a clear vision and story of what's happening with price. So I talk a lot about the mantra as traders we react, not predict, and yeah, that's like it's fine as far as it goes. But I'd argue that's only really at confirmation time, and there's also an element of forecasting. That said, having mental flexibility is also important to get more profits. I'll try and show you what I mean. So before I get into this trade on Friday, I just want to talk about the situation on Thursday. We had this consolidation after FOMC, this large move. We had talked before on Dixie about how this move was very likely to happen at a rate above the 22nd of July high into H4 supply, and then the FOMC was very likely to strike down and mitigate this H1 demand zone. So after that, we're faced with this consolidation, and the expectation is that retail are going to be shorting with the expectation of filling this imbalance. So the main idea for today was, or for Thursday rather, was to take a short. I had an expectation we were going to push up into this structure level and also into this H4 FVG, because on DXY we had this huge gap and structure level that was unfilled. So I was a bit suspicious about any kind of small grab up into this kind of weak zone. So I ended up missing a trade because I was traveling. I only really had half an eye on the footprint, but if we go into M1, there was actually a perfectly valid trade here following confirmation 2, setup 1. So yesterday's high broken by 5 pips, and then a change in structure, lower high, lower low, and then a test of a very large imbalance, 0.58. So as I said, I wasn't watching footprint, but that was actually a golden opportunity to short. And I think because I said I was expecting a drive up to like 22.20, 22.30. Some people maybe missed this trade because of what I was saying, so apologies for that. I think one person got in it. I think Steve got in, but maybe closed quite early. So we ended up with quite a big move down, which would have made a good trade. But it wasn't really what I had in mind. I still was holding out for this trade that would come above these highs, because again, we're going to have a lot of liquidity resting above here with all these shorts. So I come back on Friday. The situation is, in the morning, we've actually broken these highs and created an overnight high in Asia. So for me, it was game time. I was ready for this. I had a clear vision of what I wanted to see, and this does come down to what I call setup 1. It's a key level trade, break of an Asia range high into a trading level, but quite a big grey area. So this H4 FVG and a structure level. So this is quite a tricky trade in quite a few ways. I was looking at DXY, and again, this imbalance I was waiting to be filled, which was happening. And then this very obvious structural level on the Dixie. So once that was touched, we were up around here, this Frankfurt move up, we were up around this kind of area, and I ended up taking a trade around here. So if I show you what was happening on the footprint at this particular moment, I was ready to trade. For me, we tested this structure level, we were in the H4 imbalance, and I was kind of ready for an aggressive entry. And what I saw was this 0.49 zone, or level I should say, indicating it was structure, and these low volume candles just kind of lining up underneath it. And usually when you see that, as long as you don't get candles closing above, it will usually short, but not always. This would be considered a very aggressive entry, you know, this shoot up, break of a 0.49 imbalance, and then retest of it. For me, it was okay. I ended up trading it with a half size and got stopped out. It ended up doing another push up, which is going to happen in Forex, especially the most liquid pairs. Before any major move, it's going to make it difficult for you. Expect to get stopped out or break even. So I ended up getting stopped out here. I think entered here, stop around here, got collected, but no matter, we're taking very high RR trades here. So we had this final push up into the H4 FVG. By this time the Dixie structure was tested and we're falling quite rapidly. And what I'm saying is there was multiple zero side bearish imbalances created. So this is what I call confirmation 1. Very difficult to catch unless you're expecting the short here and very confident in it. To short into a falling market is quite scary. So the situation on footprint was here. We have two 16-0 and a 17-0, so two bearish imbalances, basically indicating sellers are in control. So for me, that was the signal. As soon as I saw this last one, I'm in. I have my trades in. I'll show you here already. You know, I'm sure I actually put my first short in a bit early because I was so confident that this was going to drop. And then the second one when I saw the imbalance. And the idea was to write it down to the round number 121. Now, there is various places you could have taken profit early. So like yesterday's high, daily open, Asia range low, these are all fine. But I had kind of bigger dreams for this one, bigger aspirations. Couple of reasons. First one, it's Friday, end of month, and big straight line moves are very common on this day. So I thought we would fill ADR at least. Second, there was liquidity below here. So this is a liquidity pool I expected us to tap into. That was really it. That was really the thinking. On DXY, we had this massive structure level, so I didn't know how far it's going to go up really, but I knew there was very likely to have a bounce here. So that's kind of it. Entry, setup 1, confirmation 1. Just remember to have like a really strong eye on multiple imbalances being created if you expect the trade to happen, because that's your confirmation. Enter here, stop goes somewhere above this 17-0 imbalance, and that's you really. And using logic, because it was the end of the month and a Friday, I was expecting a large move, so testing the right number was where I picked. And that's it really. That's all there was to this trade. It took a lot of patience because I was expecting it on Thursday, but when it ended up happening on Friday, I was like, okay, fine, no problem, because it's such a huge trade. And if you take a loss entering too early, then you know, I'm not too worried. Don't panic. Just look for a better confirmation, because this confirmation is one that I kind of have in my back pocket, but it's not really part of the strategy. It's very aggressive, so better to wait until you have, you know, a more solid confirmation. But that's it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And if you have any questions on this, just hit me on a DM or in the chat and we can talk about it. Thanks very much, and talk to you soon.